Pressing forward today, and as always we've got two players modern day that'll show the role so you can visualise it a bit better. We've got Jamie Vardy at Leicester. Now think about Vardy, he's running his socks off up front all the time, so he's harassing, he's getting on defenders' nerves, and he's right on the edge and he's pushing against that defensive line. Slightly different pressing forward is Roberto Firmino, who's the peak of the three strikers there, doing all the donkey work for Salah and Mane. Two pressing forwards, two slightly different pressing forwards. Let's get onto it. Now it's amazing how many people don't read the player roles when they come to designing a tactic. Sometimes it can be as simple as that for understanding things. So the pressing forward bio in game shows the pressing forward is becoming more and more important, so meaning a lot of teams use it, especially with one up front. Remember that. The main duty is to put pressure on the opposition when they have possession, closing them down like Vardy does, chasing any loose balls, Vardy, in order to prevent the opposing players having too much time on the ball. The point at which he presses is dependent on the team's line of engagement. What that means is if you're pressing high, your pressing forward will press high. If you're a bit lower, he'll back off and he'll press a bit lower, a bit closer to the halfway line. Now, Vardy and Firmino were different, as I said at the start, because one for me plays support, one for me plays attack. Vardy will play more attacking, meaning a pressing forward on attack will look to create his own chances as well as bring other people into the game, and he'll stay a little bit further up, so he tends to have a few characteristics of an advanced forward as well, whereas a pressing forward on support, he can kind of double up into an attacking midfielder. So if you think of Firmino, when he's got Salah and Mane coming either side, sometimes he'll drop in and then ping the balls to them as well. So same role, but two slightly different versions of it. So there's two scenarios where I would recommend using a pressing forward. Okay, the first one is in a 4-4-1-1 type of formation, where you've got one man up front and you're playing predominantly wide, bombing on a little bit more direct. So if you think of that formation there, very similar to Leicester when they won the league. They had Vardy up front with Okazaki maybe in behind him, and two wingers bombing on, causing the width. So Vardy's up there causing havoc, pressing opposition defenders and playing on the counter attack. Notice he's on an attack setting now and he's pressing forward, so you can double up as an advanced forward as well. The other style of formation I'd tend to use a pressing forward in is the following. It's a 4-3-3, pretty similar to the way Liverpool play at the moment. So if you think of the two wingers there as Salah and Mane, and your forward as Firmino, you can see the forward there is on pressing forward support, meaning that he'll do what we've just said that Vardy would do, but perhaps he won't be as aggressive looking to create himself. He'll drop in a bit, looking to supply the bullets to the two inside forwards, inside wingers, Salah and Mane for example. So that would be Firmino's type of role in a 4-3-3. Both very useful, but different takes on it, and just a little tweak in the role from support to attack can change things up completely. Where I'd probably shy away from using pressing forward is in any formation with two up front. Reason being, if you've got two up front, you can afford to get a bit more attacking with your striker. So here I see I've got one on an advanced forward, and the second striker is doing the role of a support striker where he's going to drop off and be the deep line forward. So in really you don't need a pressing forward because you're already going to have one. You don't need to add to his workload, you can let him concentrate on scoring the goals, while the other striker, be it a deep line forward, a false nine, a target man, he can drop in the gaps and do the role of a pressing forward would. Okay, so in action, here's a little game I played in a 4-3-3 formation, similar to the Liverpool one, a high pressing one, with the one pressing forward on support. Okay, so highlighted there, the player, Bruno. Bruno is my pressing forward on support, okay? So he's going to have two men supporting him, one there and one lower down there. Now his role, as we play it on, is to be the focal point of the attack, but also dropping in a little bit when we have the ball, like he's there, to offer a creative outlet. When we don't have the ball, he's going to be pressing players to try and get it off them. Being in the gaps like that means that the other two players, the wider players, can come inside and cause the overload, and he can drop back a bit. Where the pressing forward role will differ a bit from the advanced forward role, the advanced forward won't graft as much, he won't pressure as much the opposition defenders, whereas the pressing forward, when you don't have the ball, the key's in the name pressing, he's going to press the back line. Okay, so if you look here, we've just saw an example when we do have the ball. When we don't have the ball, He's up there by himself, look. Throwing coming in. Bruno, right on the man. So he's pressing straight into him. He's right on him. Wins the ball back straight away. Now, if he was on an attacking setting, he'd more than likely now drive into the box and try and have a ping himself, create it for himself. As Bruno is set to support, he gets the ball, he holds it up a bit, waiting for the support there. Look at all that support coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players on support. He's waiting, he pings it across. And in that position, Hardy, that would be your Salah or Mane type. In it goes. They're going to the striker role, vacated by Bruno's pressing, pings it in. So it's a good way to work. It's just got little nuances in changes from the other positions, like an advanced forward, complete forward. You'll concentrate on more on the pressing side of things. You change it to support from attack, you'll look to bring people in. If you're playing on the counter attack, you may be better off putting him on attack so he can drive for the goal himself. So there you have it. It's a bit of a complicated one, pressing forward, because the tweaks between support and attack are quite substantial compared to other roles. So you just got to watch out for that and decide which way you want your team to play. In short, if you play on a counter-attack wing play kind of style, with one up front, with wide men not inverted, you might be better off going for a pressing forward on attack to make things happen. If you're doing a high press style with two inverted wingers, similar to Liverpool, you might want to look at support style. So attributes for that. Key attributes for your pressing forward: work rate, stamina. They're going to work the socks off. Invariably, they're going to be up front by themselves. So they're going to have an even harder job of it. Teamwork comes into that as well. Pace would be handy. Especially if you're going to use them on an attack setting, because they're going to be bombing on quite a lot as well. And it also helps them close down defenders a little bit quicker. Finishing, obviously, because he's a forward. On that point, think of other normal attributes you'd have for a forward. They're ideal, but if you're looking for a key worker, a workhorse, and going to rely on your outside men to supply the goals, then the top four are more important than finishing, believe it or not. And a bonus one, passing. Not necessarily for the attacking option of the pressing forward, because he's going to basically look more after himself more than his teammates. But like the example we just showed there, if you've got passing, like a Firmino style, he's going to look to get his teammates into the game. So if you can find one with good passing as well, even better. Hope all that made sense. Any questions, pop it down below. There's 3 other Know Your Role videos I've already done, so have a look at those. The next one will most likely be complete wing back, so I'll go and get that done, and I'll see you soon.